issue I have is that in the way they're doing the transaction, they are acting as realtors. They're acting as unlicensed realtors. Okay? You guys follow that? You guys are well aware that in the province of BC, in order for you to be involved in real estate, in a real estate transaction that you have no vested interest in, which means you do not legally own, you have to be licensed. If you are not licensed, you're acting as an unlicensed realtor, which will get you into a lot of trouble. Okay? So, I'm not going to go into the gray areas because in my mind it's very clear cut, because I know the law, I know the rules. In this case, these individuals do not own the real estate. They merely have an agreement to buy. And what they're hoping to do is find a buyer that's going to come in and buy one of these properties, so, at a slightly higher price, and they're going to make money on the spread. The law is very clear. The money that they are making in this transaction comes in as a fee. It's not real estate profits. Because in order for you to have real estate profits, you need to own the real estate. Do you understand? Are you following me? Mm-hmm. So, it's a real estate fee that someone is earning that doesn't have a license. If her friend was licensed, it would be totally fine. But her friend's not licensed. It's a problem. Okay? Now, you might get away with one deal, you might get away with 2 deals, you might get away with 50 deals. But here's the problem. They're advertising on Craigslist. They're running around telling a whole bunch of people. Okay? And all it takes is one person to pick up the phone and say, hey, I don't think this person is licensed. And then you have the BC government coming into your business, snooping, asking questions. Okay? And if you've made money, now I don't know what the consequences are. If they catch you making money and being unlicensed, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of fine that you're going to have to pay. And then they're probably going to slap you in the wrist and say, never do it again. And they might actually put you on a blacklist. There's actually a website that has the names of people that have not conducted themselves within the law of the BC government. Okay? Now, each city or each province, each state, each country has its own rules about all this. So you need to be aware of all this. Okay? I know because I spent, 18 months fighting with them because they were trying to say that I was acting as an unlicensed realtor. Myself and my business. So I was clear on the law before they came. I'm now crystal clear on the law because I fought them and I won. So I know what the rules are. So all it takes is one person to pick up the phone. They don't even have to be a part of it. And I'll tell you one thing. The guy that ratted on me was a realtor. That much I was able to find out. They wouldn't tell me who he was, his name, nothing. They won't give me any information. They'll just tell you that there was a complaint. And then in my questioning, one guy slipped up and he said, it's a realtor. And then when he said that, he tried to cover it up. But they will never tell you who the person is that rats you out. It could be a person in this room. It could be somebody that you're trying to sell real estate and they think you're trying to do something illegal and they rat you out. Okay, so you need to be very, very careful. Especially since you're not on contract. Because you're putting yourself even more at risk. Because you have nothing to do with the transaction. That makes you even worse off than she is. Because at least she can go back and say, well, I have a contract to purchase, my intention is to buy, and then sell. If they came knocking today. But what's your excuse? What are you going to say to them? This is my friend, and I'm trying to help her out by breaking the law. You understand? Mm-hmm. So you guys need to be very, 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 very careful when you're doing these things. There are ways around everything. There are loopholes around everything. Okay? You just need to be smart enough to figure them out.
So technically with doing wholesales, it's kind
No. See, wholesaling has nothing to do with doing things right.
Assigning. Yes.
Assignments, look, whenever there's a real estate transaction and you're collecting a fee, you're acting as an unlicensed real estate agent according to the rules that they have here in BC. FICOM oversees real estate agents, or real estate companies, real estate agents, real estate brokers, and they oversee mortgage brokers and mortgage companies. Okay? It's so stupid that if I had money, $100,000, or let's say I had $1 million, and you came to me and you said, Dario, I want to borrow $150,000, and I said, sure, I'll give you $150,000 and I'll charge you 6% interest, I just broke the law. Because in order for that to happen, I have to be a licensed mortgage broker in the province of BC. Now, we all know that there's tons of private lenders out there that do that, and they're breaking the law every day. Now, it's most likely that if I do 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them, no one's ever going to come and bother me. But if I got $20 or $30 million and I'm doing loans out with $20 or $30 million, you can bet your petunias that they're going to come haunt on me.
Where do you research your laws for a new area, for example? Where would be the area to start?
You got to ask. You got to start. You know, you can go. Every city has what the equivalent of our real estate board, and you just go and you talk to them and you do research. It all starts with research, right? But I want you to know that you know, the stuff that I'm talking about is it's because so many people have been scammed, because so many people have been wronged, because so many people took advantage of banks, because so many people did all these things that weren't kosher. People are cracking down on these things. So one of the rules that they're putting down in the US is, and the only way they can enforce it is very simple, and I explain it to you, but right now the banks are saying if you buy a short sale from us, you have to own it for at least 1 year before you can sell it to somebody else. Can a bank enforce that? No, they can't. Why? Because I own the real estate, and when I own it, I can do whatever the hell I want. But you know what the bank does? Fine. You've owned the property for 3 months, so your new buyer, we won't finance it. Because you haven't owned the property for more than a year.
Just that Linda, or they try and blacklist you against all lenders? They
It's,
can't enforce it.
every lenders are doing that. And the reason for it is, they're saying, well, you know, we're losing money hand over feet. And here you are making money off of our losses. So we're going to put a stop to that. So you really want to buy the property, you have to live in it for at least a year. It used to be 30 days. Then they went to 3 months. Then they went to 6 months. Now it's a year. So you've got to be careful. Okay? I'm very excited that you're doing what you're doing. I got to be honest with you. I want you to know that you have no idea how risky it is what she's doing, especially in this market. Because I know this for a fact. I don't need to know a whole bunch about the deal. The only reason why she got the discount is because she's agreed to buy X amount of units. And I'm sure she's got deposits on each one of them, and she's got contracts on each one of them, that if she doesn't push forward with them, which means move forward to buy them, she will lose all those deposits. So it's a very, very, very risky way to try to make what I refer to as chunk change in real estate. Because you are a desperate seller. Especially when you told me closing's in February, it's like, we have 45 days to close, right? So that tells me a couple of things. It tells me that they've got 45 days to close. They might be in their inspection period still, right? Which they can get their deposit back. And if they've gone past that, deposits are non-refundable.